So we are ready to get into champion select them. Of course, Gambit have first ban, first pick on the blue side here this time around, and we've already have Jarvan banned out here by Gambit and Renekton banned by SK Gaming.
So it looks like Gambit want to take Ocelot and Hercubot out of the equation right there with that ban, mostly Hercubot, and then the Renekton taking out Darien, taking him out of his comfort zone. Wow, that crowd is loud. I can't even hear myself talk right now. But so Gambit with the next ban, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see a ban targeted at Ocelot, and then maybe one targeted at Kevin as well, just to kind of weaken their links, their strong chain that they have, which is those three members. Kenny Pen and Nith have always been, a good bot lane, but they've never done anything amazing, nothing that's...
I wouldn't agree with you on that.
Well, I mean, they've always been, solid. They've never been, in my opinion, they've never really been super aggressive or really created plays for the team. And
you're 81% of Nif being involved in all kills before this game, and the crescendos in the first 5 weeks that Nif was hitting left, right, and center over every wall. You are a victim, Jason, of not giving supports enough credit.
I mean,
you
lane
feel
phase.
Bad.
That's what I'm talking about, lane phase.
Oh, well, you didn't say that, did you?
That's what I'm referring to, is the lane phase.
Okay, let's make it up as we go along then. Shen, second ban coming out here for SK Gaming. Volley Bear banned out by Gambit. Obviously not in Diamond's plans this time around, more for the fact that they've got something else for the first pick and maybe don't want that to go over to SK in their first round.
Elise is still available right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see that taken out. We see Hercubot actually has played that quite a bit. We could see her play in the mid lane as well. It's a champion that I think Alex plays, but obviously not Diamond or Darien too much. So maybe they won't take it out, but that's definitely one champion they're kind of looking at, as they do take out Darius instead, which I think we have seen Darien play before. Yeah. But kind of surprised to see that as a targeted ban.
Yeah, Darien has played Darius, which is always kind of a good ban for us, because, well, for me, I'm just going to get totally confused with that as per usual. But the first pick here for Gambit, with Volley Bear banned out, is the kind of next go-to champion these days of Diamond Procs, the Nasus.
And I think SK might go for Elise here, or they might go for Xin, which Xin hasn't really been that strong of a jungler lately. He kind of just fell out of favor over, I believe it was week 4 and week 3, actually mostly week 4. But out of this lineup, we haven't really seen Hercubot run anything with, without Volley Bear, without Jarvan, and without Nasus available. It's mostly just been Elise and Vi, but we haven't seen Vi's in, I believe, 2 weeks now.
Oh, Jax.
Oh, wow.
See, I'm still not sold on Jax right now. I'm still not sold on Jax.
Yeah, we saw Darien playing him in the Intoxication Masters World Championships against Azubu Frost, I want to say? Well, sorry, CJ Entis, Blaze, or Frost, one of the teams, I can't remember off the top of my head, and he did not perform well. And I agree with you, Jax just doesn't seem to have gotten as strong as other champions did with the new items release, but I guess we will see how that goes. It also always could potentially be a jungle Jax, potentially. Potentially
as well. Obviously they left Thresh open there. The Thresh Prince may make an appearance here for us today with Edward, of course. And Misfortune, who is another go-to champion for Genja, has been very strong over the course of the LCS, and even before that here with MF as well.
Okay, well, we're seeing Thresh locked in. It kind of makes me want to think, since they took away Lulu, that they potentially might go for Zed on Ocelot, because Lulu helps counter that a little bit by giving that extra buffer of health. So that might be a champion they're going to go with here to blow up Diamond Procs. Always runs that Ghost Cleanse, so you always have the potential to go for him right away. And then also an AD carry, maybe a Caitlyn. Kenny Pen has also been playing some Graves as well, and maybe an Ezreal, but on the team they have, I would say Caitlyn would be nice, because you have that Caitlyn Lulu combo for pushing lanes, and you also have that protection by being really far away from the Thresh hooks.
I've seen him playing Twitch as well earlier on in the LCS. That's something that's always going to be available to him.
We don't need to bring him up.
Why not?
So, SK with their picks still, 30 seconds left, Joe. And you can stop looking at it like that, a little bit awkward. I'm pretty sure everyone at home knows why I don't want to talk about Twitch. As we do see Graves being set on.
Okay, so Vi and Graves looking like the possibilities here for SK, and they will be locked in.
I've never really been impressed with Hercubot Vi, though. I mean, it has really strong early presence, and with the Jax, they have a decent combo, because Vi wants to dive into the back line. You have Jax follow up with a counter-strike on top of that, but I've never been really just sold on his Vi just yet. We do see on the other side, Zed was left open. We've seen Alex play it before, and we also saw Elise being set on as well, and Edward, such a troll, but those honestly could be 2 champions we might see locked in here. Might see a top lane Elise and a Zed mid lane, or even Darien, which I don't remember if he plays Zed, but it always is one of those champions he could.
Yeah, and he actually was on Tryndamere there as well, which will not be a choice.
No more AP Tryns.
Pretty sure about that one. But at least definitely a one to go to, possibly. As they wait on this final pick, you can see that Edward very focused in Gambit. Like you said, and like we've always talked about, that they will lose one game in a day, but usually not more than that. There's Kazakhs, of course, still left open here. We pretty much forgot to mention him throughout this one, but we know how good Alex is on Kazakhs. Darian didn't quite impress me so much on Kazakhs in that last game, though.
He did play it, though, 2 times at MLG against KT Roaster B. I don't remember if he did actually a great job, but, you know, Darian's always one of those players which he can really excel at champions. I think if he didn't play well on Kazakhs at first, I think he's really going to show us something here if he does actually run him, because he still have the Elise. We're not sure exactly where the two will be going, but I guess we'll find out as they do get into game. But SK with their last pick, they need a mid at this point. They still has that available. But with Gambit kind of sitting on it at first and then not picking him, makes me think that they might potentially be baiting SK into it if they go for it.
Well, let's see. Twisted Fate was a champion which Fnatic used earlier on to take down Gambit, and SK gonna lock it in as well. So we'll see how Ocelot's Twisted Fate can match up to that of Xpeke, which was quite sublime. He did everything right in that last game.
Yeah, it really did. And that was how they picked apart Gambit, was just strictly that split pushing. We've had teams talk about Fnatic before, saying they have phenomenal split pushing. I mean, Xpeke, he's known for backdooring ever since until Extreme Masters Katowice now, and he really showed why Twisted Fate is such a good champion against Gambit.
So we've got the two lineups locked in here, Jason. Who are you favoring?
Well, I'm trying to think it through in my head, and the Jax, I'm still not. I have to agree with that. I'm really not convinced him as a champion, a competitive champion in Season 3. I've always loved him, though, Jax as a champion, but there's really no solid front line for SK. So if anyone does get into the backside when you have a Kazakh to get there, or you have an Elise to get there, it's going to create a really huge problem for them. I think overall just composition, by having an auto tech champion like Graze with a Nasus who can wither him, will really shut him down. So I think in the end I'll have to give it over to Gambit.
Well, Alex actually just dropped out of the game there right at the end. I'm not sure if they just had a little bit of a bug switching champions. Towards the game, it's Gambit versus SK Gaming, our final game of day one here in Lille at the Zenith Arena. Jason, talk us through level 1 and any possibilities.
Well, level 1, just looking at it in my little bit of a thought process going on, we do see Kevin down towards the bottom side of the map. I don't really believe SK can be one of those teams right now with what they have to go for level 1 engage or go for a level 1 pressure. Jax doesn't really do too much besides a counter-strike, which if he takes level 1, might cause him a little bit of problems, especially if he gets ganked early on. And over on Gambit's side, they have a decent team for invading, but they've never really been a team to do that. They've always been a team just to protect their own jungle, never to really be super aggressive right off the bat. But as the game does progress, they start to really get comfortable, really start to invade the enemy jungle and really create these plays.
We've already seen a couple of sightings and shots exchange there. That was Genji just trying to push Kevin away. So it's looking like we are going to see that lane swap coming out this time of SK Gaming. What do you think to that one? Putting the Graves Lulu up against an Elise and having that Jax in a 1 versus 2 lane against Misfortune and Thresh, which may actually change by the looks of things anyway.
I think Jax is not going to have a great time down there if he is ending up in a 1v2 situation. I mean, 1v1, he shouldn't be able to beat Elise anyways because of that harass Elise can put out, that percent damage you do. Not to mention when you have that spider form, you're very strong early on because you don't have that ultimate. You don't have to pick it up as a spell. You'd have to go 1v1, but still, even then, he won't do too well. I mean, pretty much he's screwed either way he goes, in my opinion. I mean, you have to look at it because he can't do a 1v2, and he can't really go head-to-head against Darian unless he gets a lot of camping from Hercubot.
Well, right now we can see that the AD carries here of Gambit, AD carries, you could probably call Edward one of them as well, with his Thresh, I guess. They've just done the Wolves, going to head up to that top lane, and the same for SK. The AD Golems just helping out Hercubot there with the red buff. On the other side, Jax did start Wolves with the help of Twisted Fate, and also Nasus is already on his way here onto the top side of the jungle for Gambit.
We do see, wow, actually Kevin being very aggressive in the bot lane, making Darian back up because he did hit level 2 early. He was able to apply a lot of pressure that you can do when you get that level advantage over your counterpart. Darian wasn't able to pick up the double golems if I'm not mistaken. And because of that, he's paying the price a little bit. We did see the red pop popped on Kevin as well. And we now see both junglers taking their blue buffs here. And Hercubot, you're very good early on for these ganks. You put out a lot of damage. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see him go for a gank, within the next minute.
Yep, on the blue buff side now. And could come around on towards Kha'Zix here, as we see in the top lane. Damage already being exchanged. Nothing more than that coming with that one. But talk us through this this lane, because it's an interesting one, obviously, with the hooks coming into play there, the slows coming out of Lulu. Who's got the advantage at this stage of the game between Graves and the Misfortune lane?
Well, MF, she's always a strong champion pre-6. She has that stacking damage from Imperial Shot. She has a double up to give you another auto attack in there. She should be able to compete with damage against SK for now. But when SK finally hits that level 6, you see Graves get his collateral damage. You see Lulu get her ultimate to, you know, help keep Candy Panda alive. They should be able to kind of counter it back and normalize a little bit. But I think around, I have to say, level 3 or 4, you're going to see Gambit be a little bit aggressive here and really force SK to back off.
Oh, this could be very interesting. We see Alex jumping in there. Diamond actually is going to put down the Wither. He'd use Ghost as they're going on towards Hercubot, but have they got the damage to finish him off? Alex going to flash over there, his first blood. They may keep going. They can slow Ocelot down. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Genja will cleanse off the exhaust. Can he finish off? They flash in. Candy Panda flashes out. Ocelot did walk away there, withered down. Well, that will be first blood going over. Either way to Gambit into Alexic on Kha'Zix. He's got double buffs. He is now a very, very scary man.
Yes, walking away with that is just going to be so devastating. Also, no flash anymore, so Alex has the ability to jump right on top of him as long as he doesn't have that gold card available to throw at him. And with the double buffs, the harass he's going to put out, the red buff, just the pure damage he's going to do is really going to screw Ocelot over as the game goes on. Because also, he wants to get some ganks off. He wants to create some opportunities for his team, but if he gets set behind like this, he's not going to hit level 6 early enough, and his counterpart is going to be so dangerous that if he does leave his lane, he's going to lose a turret, or he actually will lose his own life if he stays on.
Well, let's see Ocelot coming into that one. This bottom lane, just to quietly recap that on 22-17 CS. Darian starting to boss Kevin a little in this lane now. And look at the difference in experience there. Darian up to level 5 to the level 3 of Kevin. So he definitely needs to watch out. He's just hit level 4 in there, so not quite bad of the 2 levels. He's going to get cocooned up there underneath the turret. And Darian is quite happy to harass there out of range of the tower.
Yeah, Kevin, he's having a tough time farming, but at least he is keeping up quite well. I mean, 21 and 26 isn't bad at all, especially when you're against a ranged champion in that bottom lane. We do have Hercubot sitting inside that Baron pit. Looks like he wants to create something up towards his top side. I'm pretty sure they did not spot that ward going down, so if he does go in for it, he will be spotted. Doesn't have flash available either, so Gambit could turn this around against him.
Gambit halfway up the lane. We see Edward and Genja both headed back from this one. That's going to send Hercubot packing straight away. He knew that they'd been spotted from that one. Just good timing coming out of Gambit for that one. Interested to see whether we get any Lantern ganks, getting that Nasus right in there to get the Wither down and then finish off things. In the bottom lane, Jax, with all that farm underneath the tower, has brought himself back to win 2 or 3 difference. He's actually looking to go home, though, with what he's got right now. Obviously, Doran's Blade plus a ward for him. Darian with the Crystalline Flask plus health pots. Alex Hitch, we should touch on him because he obviously got that first blood and the double buffs with it. Longsword, boots, and a few pots in there as well.
And if you've, if you take a look at middle lane just for a little bit in a second, you will notice that he's actually...
the gank. Here's the Lantern gank coming in for us there. Diamond comes around the side. Can they get in onto Nif? He is withered up. There is the ward going down as well. He's going to be very low. He flashes away. Can they finish off? Not quite. They've turned away from it. And Nif just about surviving.
Very good gank right there. As you do see Alex going head-to-head against Ocelot here. And the point I was trying to make is that Alex has been zoning him quite a bit. When he had those double buffs up, Ocelot was forced to stay back, actually sit over towards the top side of the middle lane near the Wraith camp when not even taking it because he could not do anything against Alex. And hopefully be able to get back in the game here. It's a great top lane gank coming out of Gambit as well, blowing that flash.
This makes no sense in the top lane. Hercubot is going in there through the bush, and they put a ward right on top of Nif's head. In that last fight, they saw that ward go down. And look, Diamond's coming in here. They're going to try and react to this one. Hercubot may just face check straight into him here. There goes the Spirit Fire in. Well, it was missed, to be honest with you. Diamond going straight through, though, and he may end up getting himself caught out here. Graves coming in from the side. There's the buckshot. Hercubot goes in, but Diamond walks away.
That actually makes me wonder because you're right, they did. Oh, see, actually, Alex going head against us on the mid lane.
Yeah, Darian in this bottom lane is in trouble as well, but in the middle, as you said, there is a kill going to come in. Knight is down onto Elise. Darian won't die from that one, though. That leaves Gambit at 2-1, and, well, I think he's fine with that, Alex. Going 1 for 1, you know, picking up the Brutalizer in there. He's got a 10 CS lead. Seeker's Arm Guard Great item for Twisted Fate, honestly, going up against this Kazakhstan in the middle. Going to allow him to get up towards that Zhonya's later as well.
It's actually really, I was surprised to see Alex go for that because he did get stunned under the turret. He used the Ignite, ended up getting the kill, but it didn't seem like a trade worth it in the end. He will at least deny Ocelot a little bit of CS in the mid lane, who Ocelot is now level 6, actually headed up towards his top, so he might see a gank happen right here. And they are starting to be aggressive on Genja. He's walking in, and this should be a gank. Genja does have cleanse to get away, but he's not really healthy at this point.
Here we go, Twisted Fate coming in there. Where is the stun going to come from there? In on towards Genja. Doesn't even bother to use a cleanse. He knows he's not getting away. Edward going to be exhausted as well. Can they get in? There's the Ignite down, but Edward himself will be able to, with the help of a flash, escape their range. Hercubot actually is on the blue buff right now, and he's going to actually take that.
That was actually a great play. I had to rewatch that fight again just really quickly because I was like, why didn't he cleanse? He could have gotten away, but
couldn't have.
But Candy Panda positioned himself in between the Lantern and Thresh, so if he did hit that, if he did pop the cleanse and hit the Lantern, he would have been caught anyways by Candy. So it's a good job of him in the end to actually save that and not kind of commit it away. But that was still a great gank by Ocelot right there. He saw it, or actually came in there, and that's what he has to do. If he keeps getting these ganks on, he's going to give himself a nice little bit of a lead and give his lanes an advantage. As we see Hercubot, he's waiting on the sideline here against Darien. He has the ultimate available, but I'm not sure they have the damage to actually take Darien down.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. With that Doran shield in there as well, giving him a nice time. He doesn't have flash available though, but has that been communicated through the SK ranks that there is no flash on Elise? Hercubot is still there. He's still thinking about going in for this one. Ocelot's destiny is about halfway done, and here we go. Counter-Strike going to go off. Here comes the assault on Battery, slamming Darien into the ground. They'll knock him back. The repel comes in. Where is he going to come down? Right behind them. He is going to be falling surely from this one. It's a kill for Kevin.
Great job by SK there to pick that up. As we see the bullet time pops on top, and Genja's running away from Candy Panda, but shouldn't really be able to kill him in the end.
No, not able to get that final damage. I mean, if Nif had got in there for a bit more, then possibly would have gone in with the collateral damage to finish off as well, but that didn't happen. SK have a kill lead, have actually 100 gold lead as well. Dragon is available, but with Hercubot being low and having those double buffs, of course, he didn't give that blue buff over to Twisted Fate this time around. He has decided to go home. Don't want to give them away, that's for sure. Oh, Ocelot here in the middle, as we almost miss out on that one. Alexic going to go right in on top of him, finishes off with a Void Spikes. Alex takes a big amount of hits from the turret, but as I said, Hercubot was on that side of the jungle. He went home.
That was such a lucky Void Spike right there. It went like round a minion just to hit Ocelot in the face and go for that kill right there. But now with him being dead, they have that potential to go for Dragon. You mentioned it is up, and there's nothing SK can do about this without having Ocelot available. Hercubot's just going to sit mid lane and farm. He won't be able to stop this.
Yeah, nice turnaround there. And that will extend, I say extend Gambit's lead. They will bring them back into the lead at 14.2 to 13.4 thousand. Let's have a look down the CS here. We've not done that for a little while. Graves actually 10 ahead. At this point, there you can see gold 3,000 to 2,800. So advantage Candy Panda there in the middle lane. 1,000 gold lead for Alex Ich on top of that 30 CS. In the solo lanes, Elise versus Jax, 63 to 54 for Jax, and a 400 gold lead with that. We have seen Elise change now towards his top lane as Dimeprox just going to be dodging away there from Hercubot, who decides not to follow up.
And a little bit of an interesting change on Gambit's side, as you notice, Darien now is in that top lane, and we do have Genja and Edward at the bottom. A little bit interesting because Darien had the advantage in that bottom lane, but with that kill going over to Kevin, was able to force him out. And now we're going to have actually Kevin head up towards that top side. They don't want to let them give them a lane that they want to go up against, so they're trying to counter that by switching this up. And I think even though Genja had that early kill over to Candy Panda, or sorry, not over to Candy Panda, over to Twisted Fate, they weren't able to win the lane, which is kind of surprising to me.
Hercubot actually coming around the side here, up at the top. But in the meantime, Candy Panda in trouble. Will flash away, but he was hit by the box. Can he escape it? Bullet time comes through. Genja picks up the kill. And actually, Wild Growth was put down on Nif there. He meant to put it on Candy Panda.
And just us talking about Genja and Edward not winning that lane up topside when they already had that gank. They come back, get up a big kill on the Candy Panda, and should be able to get this turret off of that as well. And they are starting to lengthen their gold lead just a little bit longer.
Wow, Alex actually diving under Ocelot here, right underneath the turret. Can he get the finisher? Stun card going to come through. Alex goes down. What a move by SK.
And that was with Hercubot actually failing to flash over the wall to try to save him. That's a great play by Hercubot there to turn that around. And Alex, he's getting very cocky in the mid lane. It's a little bit surprising. I mean, the aggression's working out for him, but with 2 deaths now like that, it's going to hurt him quite a bit.
Yeah, they're probably deaths that he didn't really need to give away, to be honest with you. The advantage may have been a little bit less, but then you'd have Twisted Fate without those two, without one of those 2 kills, and Vi without one as well, which has certainly helped them in the grand scheme of this one. Let's have a look at the gold then. It's not far off it in a 2,000 lead for the Russians. 13 minutes in, we're all tied on kills. Gambit do have that 1-0 turret lead and may get a good amount of damage down onto what is already a half HP outer turret at top.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to start grouping up towards that top side, push that turret down, then switch over to middle, really take the momentum of the game and keep it in their pocket, because SK needs that momentum. They thrive off of it. And by taking that away, you will deny them quite a bit. We still have Diamondprox sticking over towards this top side of the map. It doesn't matter when Darien does end up backing either way. We have the AD carry, or not AD carry, we have Edward and Alexich actually in the middle lane right now, pushing it in, and Nip is supporting Ocelot here. So it looks like the AD carries might go head-to-head over towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, that would be in favor of Misfortune. BF Sword, Pickaxe, Vamp Scepter, Doran's Blade to the Pickaxe and the Vamp Scepters. We are going to see them coming in on towards Alex, who may be in trouble himself. Ocelot comes around here, actually doesn't have the stun card available. There's the Lantern, and Alex pulled to safety. Destiny down, that could be a big thing for Gambit.
Yeah, it was a great play by Alex right there. He didn't actually jump in right on top of Candy Panda. He wanted to wait. We see Kevin actually Darien going head-to-head up here. It looks like Darien might be able to pick up the skill.
Yeah, Repel comes in. Where's the Cocoon going to come out of Darien? He's got a lot of work to do and actually just dives in onto him with the Spiderlings. And that is a nice kill back, and considering, I think Darien's just been waiting for that kill, you know, just biding his time. He got ganked down at the bottom to lose the first one after doing so well, and now he pulls it one back.
And this is the point where we say we weren't really convinced about Jax. He had the early advantage, but he just got 1v1 basically right there by Darien. And Jax, I mean, he's going to get stronger as the game progresses, but so is everyone else, and the utility that everyone else provides is really going to be dangerous. We do see a mid lane gank happening here as Diamond does get cupcaked.
Wow, they're going to dive in towards Ocelot again, who they pull it, time comes through. Ocelot taking a lot of damage, but the stun card's going to come down onto Genja. He's not in the turret range here, as the Lantern is thrown out there by Thresh, will knock Candy Panda back and keep those 2 men alive. In
the meantime, Darien is pushing up that top side. That turret getting very low. Looks like it will be going down here very shortly. Yep. And Gambit going to back off either way in the middle. They have created that nice pressure in the mid lane, allowing Darien to go up there and secure that turret, give them a little bit of extra gold. And Alex, he wasn't forced into that tier early on because he got that double buffs. He was able to go right into Brutalizer, go right into a BF Sword to really pressure Ocelot. You're seeing that in the farm right now, you're seeing that in the kills and assists, and he's really been able to shut him down, really keeping Ocelot in that mid lane, not allowing him to roam around and create these kills for the rest of his team.
Alex just came back in now. We saw the Void Spikes going down as Edward swings the hook around. I think he must have gone for one there on towards Vi, but realistically it wasn't going to do a lot after dragging him in there. But one thing that we are seeing is Jax having a bit of time alone, and we all know how dangerous that is once this Jax really gets into the groove of things. Got that Cutlass ready to go. See him moving up towards that Blade of the Ruin King. There is Genja down at the bottom, and honestly, I think Kevin could have him here.
If he wants to commit to it, but Darien is coming up the lane right now.
Definitely not, but
yeah. And it's, I mean, Jax, okay, in Season 2, he was one of those champions that was able to really get farmed up and really was able to become a force to reckon with if you left him alone. But in Season 3, he lost that power. We do see Alex actually might get caught right now.
Yeah, this was so smart from Kevin. He's actually seen where they're coming from via that ward in the river there. So he looped all the way through the tri-bush, went up the backside. SK tried to come in there and join him, but it looks like Gambit may want to close in on this middle lane as well. We've got Dragon coming up in 4 seconds. Edward at the front looking to swing the chain around and grab someone in there. Gambit just back away. They've seen Graves in that top lane. They'll say thank you very much. We'll have Dragon.
Yeah, they had a choice between going for that turret and going for that Dragon. Might as well take that away from SK right now. And then they always could go for that push. We do have Candy Panda finally able to get some damage onto that turret, but Alex is there responding anyways. And they're pretty much doing what Fnatic did to them last game. They're preventing SK from getting any turrets. They're doing a great job by reading the enemy team and preventing that from happening.
Yeah, we have 2-0, and as you said, Fnatic didn't allow any turrets for Gambit in that one. I think they ended with 0 turrets,
I think
right?
so, yeah.
Overall, great performance, but Gambit here going to take down the third and final outer turret. Now, this is the situation that Gambit have found themselves in before. What generally will happen now is they'll get in towards the jungle, get those wards down, and just start to really strangle SK in there, get a couple of picks off in their jungle as well, and that's when it becomes really, really dangerous now for SK.
Especially when you're a team like this that requires the farm. I mean, Twisted Fate, you're going to need that farm. You have to split push and get that CS, get that golden cup. Jax, you're going to need the farm to really be a force to reckon with as the game progresses as well, and Candy Panda. So as long as you keep strangling them, like you were saying, they're going to fall farther and farther behind. And by taking these objectives away, by making sure that Dragon's taken every time, by applying some pressure into these turrets, you're forcing the entire team of SK to respawn and to really react to you and prevent that turret from going down, deny them even more farm. And at the way it's going, if Gambit can keep this up, it looks like they might have another victory, well, their first victory of the day in their pocket.
Yeah, SK trying to kind of combat what may be coming next with plenty of wards of their own down here on that river side, but you can see already Alex is getting in position to dive on top of Candy Panda, and he's going to meet him here right in the side of that brush. Can he get the kill onto him though? He's already used those void spikes, goes in there, exhaust comes down and wisely saves that jump in case he needed to get away, which is exactly what he needed to do from that one. But will that leave this inner turret now a little bit exposed? We've got Diamond, Genja and Darian coming in as the bullet time comes across the side. It's not done too much damage, but Ocelot gets caught in there. He will get a wild growth onto him. The repel was used by Darian, but the assault and battery comes in, and Darian is going to drop from this one. Flash away by Hercubot. Here comes Alex from the side. He's getting the resets. Two of them jumps away. Double kill, triple kill coming out for Alex Ich. Amazing play. They're tanking up the turret here. Diamond will be safe though. And what amazing stuff there from Gambit. Bullet time from one side, Kha'Zix from the other. SK didn't know what hit him.
And the funny thing was that bullet time was used just to zone them away, but because they ate enough damage, because they got enough chunk onto each member of SK, Alex was able to come in from the side, pick those up one by one, keep jumping as much as possible, and overall just Gambit phenomenal. That's exactly what they needed to do. And funny enough, we saw them play against Fnatic, and they didn't have momentum. Fnatic took it, they were the aggressors, but this time, they're being the ones doing it. They're not allowing SK to get that position to really force the fights against them, and they're taking these fights easily.
Yeah, Alex Ich saying, Darian, this is how you play Kha'Zix. This is how you do it, and he is doing a brilliant job of it right now. 6-2-1. How much gold does he have, actually, right now? He is sat... okay, pretty much none, so he obviously went back, but good job we looked at the gold anyway, because Genja sat on 2,700 right now. He's going to come back from his next shopping trip a much stronger Misfortune. Actually is at home in the base right now, and has picked up, in a matter of seconds, Bloodthirster and Last Whisper in one trip. That's a big spike.
Yeah, and you have to look at his counterpart, Candy Panda. He has no item completed, so if Gambit forces fights right now, the damage difference is just ridiculous. Like, Candy Panda won't be able to do anything that Genja will be able to do, especially with the bullet time on top of that, but they're just so far ahead of items. They have double Bloodthirsters, one on Alex, one on the Genja. Even have the Haunting guys and the Giant's Belt on Darren right now, so if he's going to dive into the backside, he can tank up even more damage. And we have Blade of the Rune King as the first completed item for Kevin. No one else on his team has a completed item besides the Lock of the Iron Solar and Hercubot. Not one completed item.
Now, apparently we have a keyboard issue with one of the players. Doesn't look to me like it's one of the SK players, to be honest. I think
Alex broke his keyboard with all the jumping because he was so excited. He's like spamming that key, jump, jump, jump.
I think it was Edward, actually. He was the one with his headphones off. Got the admin there behind him, so seems like that will be fixed. Alex just saying, sorry, are you ready to go? So we're going to jump back into the game then. Let's take a bit of a look at where we are in the game. 20.5 minutes in, 9-5 in kills for Gambit. 31.4 to 25.6 thousand gold in the lead, plus 3 turrets in there. They are flying right now. SK need to have a turnaround in this game.
Yeah, speaking of that, we talked about it in the pre-match that if they need some momentum, they need to get from the crowd right now. They're gonna have to start giving them some sort of energy because they're just falling further and further behind at this point. We do see the Destiny actually used, but it's just to give them the vision. They're not exactly sure where everyone else is on the map. That Baron is always a potential pickup right now for Gambit, especially with that Elise. That percent damage you do is ridiculous, not to mention how fed they are at this point as well.
Yeah, pretty fed. I mean, 6-2-1 on Kha'Zix is the obvious outstanding one there. 2-1-3 on Misfortune. They're actually level on CS, the AD carries, as we are seeing Nif getting caught out there by Darian. It shows you the damage you can put in. And speak of the devil, Baron has been started now by the Russians. There's no Destiny available to reveal that one. And I'm not sure that SK know about it. We've got Darian, who's basically just zoning them completely away from it. We will have Jax coming in from the backside, but he'll be too late. Darian is going to go down. Ocelot here trying to get the stun card off. There's the repel. He dives straight into him. The Salt and Barrier will save him for about a half second. Darian now trying to run slow by the Glitter Lance, but here comes Gambit. Here comes Alex around the side. Wild Growth was used there. Elise did die in the process. Bullet Time can't quite catch the kills. Alex is still chasing him. Diamond isn't finished here either. They're going to keep going for this one. Wither goes on to Candy Panda. There is another kill. That will be a 2-for-1. What may be more importantly, it's going to free up this inner turret in that middle lane. Diamond not really bothered about tanking the turret up now. That middle inner will go down.
Such a great play by Darren, the entirety of that. He kept him off of Baron. He kept him thinking, no, well, they're not going for Baron. We'll just chill back and do whatever we need to. But was able to take Ocelot down with that. Was able to bait the rest of SK in right there for his team to pick up another kill. We do see the hook actually land on Kevin. And if you don't notice in that last fight, Alex just chunked the hell out of Kevin. He just got destroyed from a couple of attacks. And you need Kevin to be that tanky front line with Vi. And they just don't have it at this point.
Well, it's not easy. He's got Blade of the Ruin King, and that's about it. As the hook comes out, actually was thrown to the bottom side there towards Ocelot. As Inhibitor turret is down, Inhibitor itself will follow straight after this one. I'll tell you what, Candy Panda needs to be a little bit careful there in the position that he's in. Are we going to see Vi go? Yes, for Diamond, but misses out in the end. And it looks like Gambit are going to be quite successful and happy about that push there, and we'll just back away. As I say that, they're not really backing that far away. It looks like they're going to go for inner turret on the top lane again, playing it by the book.
And speaking about being happy, they're sitting on quite a bit of gold as well on top of this, so when they do back, getting another power spike on top of this. But with this Baron buff up, having all 5 members now on towards this top side, they want to be aggressive, they want to go for it, they want to get another inhibitor off of this.
I saw their Diamond just come into the forefront again, using that lantern. I saw him do it up in that top lane. Where are they going to go in? Nif down to half HP there, just from the Void Spikes coming out from Alex Ich. And he does so much damage, to be honest, and that's without him really jumping right in on top of you and really unloading. Well, let's see. Gambit wait here on the stairs. The stairs to victory, maybe. And this one.
Steps to victory.
Would be the second inhibitor turret of the game, as Nif actually going to get pulled in here. Wild Growth put on himself as the box go down. Edward may die here. Bullet Time has been a good one, though. It will be a kill apiece. Are they going to go further and go for Ocelot? Yes, they are. Flash from Alex Ich. Flash from Ocelot gets him out of danger, and the turret will go down. They'll stay and take the inhibitor itself here, and they've got super minions coming in. Gambit could finish the game off right here. Darian already getting himself in onto that first inhibitor turret. Genja is hammering away on it as well. Doesn't want to get himself stunned up there by Ocelot on the top side, but the minions coming in. Gambit decides it's probably time to spend a little bit of money, because Nasus 2,300, 2,100 for Alex Ich, 2,600 there for Genja on Misfortune. They're going to come back with even more pain.
And in that last fight, we just saw how far SK was behind. Hercubot had to use his ultimate on Edward just to go for the kill on him. He's not the ideal target, and yet they barely picked that up. That is not what you want to see out of SK right now with their current setup. We do have the Random Zone picked up on Alex, with a Lock of the Iron Solari done on Diamond Prox, and a Runic Bulwark done. They're looking so strong. Darien overextended again, but that's Darien.
That is Darien. He's actually going to go in towards Candy Panda there, and, well, he's dead. Interesting decision there, but obviously he does that a lot, Darien.
Yeah, he does.
He's a very, very confident player, and honestly, just one like that's probably not going to lose you the game in the grand scheme of things.
It's worked out for him well so far by, you know, taking out Ocelot in that last little engage we saw in the mid lane, but
yeah,
a little bit too far overextending right there.
Yeah, I mean, if Graves was further up the lane, then yeah, could have got him. But the fact is, they have that wall there, and they reacted to it nicely. SK, the push now coming up on towards that third and final inhibitor turret. Genja still hasn't been back to spend what is now 3,000 gold that he's sat on. Obviously feels like the extra damage just probably not worth it at this point. I can keep going. There is the ulti coming out of Ocelot. Assault and Battery coming in towards Alex H. Ocelot going to come in towards the back. There is the bullet time coming down as they turn the tide here. Hercubot going very low. He's going to be finished off. Where's the jump? There is Alex H. Gets himself the double. There's the triple. Can he get the quadra here? No, the exhaust comes down. But they're just going to focus in onto the Nexus turret. Surely we've got the super minions in there. They're chasing Ocelot here. They want those kills at the end, and they are going to keep going. They really are going for those kills at the end. Wither comes down onto Ocelot. He will die. Let's get back to the base, because Gambit are going to be finishing this one up here. Or do they just want to farm those minions? It's all about the other stats in there as well. The Nexus is, though, going to go down, and Gambit Gaming are going to take down SK here at week 6 of the European LCS here in Lille, France.
Well played by Gambit. Just pretty much brush off that first game against Fnatic. Even trying to go for the KDAs. Last time these two teams met, they said to us after that they were trying to let the game go on just to get the kills on a Candy Panda. Hopefully get Edward up there in the KDA and actually surpass him. But we're able to do that in this game. But either way, that was a very one-sided match, Joe, I have to say.